All right, fantastic. So, how are we all doing today? Welcome to this conversation today, where we are going to be talking about everything you need to know about AI and how you can land your first AI role or start your own agency in 4 weeks. Who are excited to be here today? We're going to be having a very, very, very interesting conversation. Okay, so I always advise people when they come into sessions like this to always try and, if you have anyone that is going to benefit from everything that we are going to be talking about today, feel free to send this link to them, your friends, your enemies, your family members, your old parties, and so on and so forth. This conversation is something that is going to benefit every single one of them, I assure you. All right. But before we jump right into this conversation, I would love to know you and know where you are joining us from today. Okay, so just simply put in your name and your location in the chat box so that I'll be able to know the people that I have on the call today and know how I'm going to win the entire conversation. All right, so let's keep that coming within the next 5 minutes. Let's just do a little bit of introduction and we are going to jump into our conversation immediately. I can't see any comments yet. I hope we know where to type in our comments. I can't see any comments yet. I have a lot of people on the call today, but yet I can't see anything. So feel free to type in your name and where you're joining us. Okay, Francis Gian. All right, just put your name and where you are joining us from so that we can also be able to acknowledge your presence. Francis from Ghana. Fantastic. It's good to have you on the call today, Francis. Okay, let's keep it coming. I can see Anthony. Anthony, I didn't see where you're joining from. I can see David from Abuja. Fantastic. George from Lagos. Onyinye Chukwu from Owerri. Luatosin from Lagos. I've seen Lagos. I've seen Abuja. I've seen Ghana. I've seen Uzechi from Imo State also. Joseph from Edo State. Fantastic. It's good to have you all on the call today. And if today is the first time that you are joining any of our session, please feel free to put a comment in the, just put a 1. But if you've been here before, type in any number as it pleases you so that I also know how to, win the conversation for today. Okay, Onyechukwu is putting a 2, which means that she's been here today. Same thing with Anthony, a 2, Francis a 1, Batunde a 1. It's good to have you all on the call. I can see Afone from Abuja, can see Muhammad from Ogun State. All right, it's good to have you all on this call today. So for everyone that today is our first time, all right? So my colleagues on the call, Uche, Treasure, they'll be dropping in a link for you to also be able to fill the attendance. So after the attendance is filled, we're going to send you this slide and everything that we're going to be discussing today. So even if you have any reason to drop off at any point, you're going to get the slide and the recorded version of this conversation so that you are not going to miss out on anything that we are going to be talking about. So Mohammed was saying that if you've been here before, type any number that you want. But if today is the first time that you are joining our conversation, just put a 1 in the comment section. All right, that's what the number is all about. Okay, Mohammed is also a 1. Today is the first time that he is also joining us today. So we're going to jump into the conversation straight. All right, we're going to jump into the conversation straight, which is everything you need to know about AI and how you can land your first AI role or start your own agency in 4 weeks. I know when people hear about starting things that is also going to make them, entrepreneurs and so on and so forth, something that is actually very, very, very interesting. Okay, but before we jump into our conversation, who are we that's organizing this event today? So we are Tenalytics, and Tenalytics business is an offshoot of Tenalytics, where we help people to break into several career paths, the tech industry, the creative industry, any sector that I can think of, we are fully here to help you. All right, we've been in existence for 5 years plus now, and we'll help close to 3,000 people transition from our classroom into landing their own first job across several domains. Okay, and for Tenalytics business, what we center fully is to help individuals that are looking to also get into different aspect of life. You're looking to get a skill and so on and so forth. We are fully here to help you on that exact journey. And how do we exactly do this? We do it by bringing professionals that already have experience in this sector back to the classroom to teach you using their own experience. So you are not coming to learn, you are coming to work on projects. So when you do this, it simply means that by virtue of you learning, you're also working. So that's why I don't normally call our students normal students. They are actually consultants, because by virtue of you training with us, you are working on real life project, which is also those experiences that recruiters are always looking out for. So if you've heard before, oh, you need 2 years of experience, 3 years of experience to land a job, how do you mark up all those years of experience in a new place they are trying to break into? How you can easily do that is by working on real life projects. And that's how we help our students to move from our classroom into landing their first job. And who am I that I've been speaking to you for the last couple of minutes? This young man here, my name is Chukwuemeka Ekpa, and I'm the CEO of Tenalytics. I know maybe I'm not the one that you saw on the flyer. You may not be expecting me to be here today, but fortunately or unfortunately, we had a very interesting thing that happened, which made the person that's supposed to be on this call not to be here, all right? And I have to jump in to take this conversation, all right? So, but what experience do I have? What qualifications do I have to be qualified to speak to you? All right, for close to a decade now, I've been playing football in the tech industry in several sectors of the economy. I've worked as a business growth consultant in the hospitality sector. I've worked as a data analyst in the fintech ecosystem. I've worked as a head of control in the fintech industry as well. I've worked as a governance, risk, and compliance officer in the banking sector. And presently, I'm also working as a talent development consultant for Africa and Europe. Okay, and I'm also doubling as the CEO of Tenalytics. So if you've been hearing about Tenalytics, this is where we're going to see us, and also we're going to talk about everything that you want to know regarding Tenalytics. If you want to connect with me personally, you can reach out to me on LinkedIn at Chukwuemeka Ekpa, or Twitter at Emeka_Heist, or Instagram at Ekpa_Chooks. And we're also going to continue the conversation. There's one interesting thing I always tell people, and that thing is just this. When you see many of us in the tech ecosystem come out to speak, it doesn't mean that we've been in this space for a long time, right? I studied civil engineering, but today I'm the CEO of a tech company, all right? My founder studied industrial chemistry, my co-founder studied economics, but today we are all running a tech company. So when you feel like, oh, I didn't study any tech-related degree, I don't have any technical background, that's the reason why I may not be able to get into this space, I want you to think again, because many of us that are in this space, we don't have that background. We all learned and then transitioned. So what you have to tell yourself is, what exact career path are you willing to learn for you now to be able to transition? And when we talk about transitioning, it's not a hard thing, all right? It is not a hard thing. Many people make mistakes to transition because they are heading towards a different sector. They're not even looking at the transferable skills that they've already had before looking to break into the ecosystem. Okay, for instance, I'm going to give us a very relatable example. Let's assume that you're on this call right now and you are a teacher. Hope my marker can write. Okay, fantastic, it can write. And you are a teacher. So this is the teacher that we have here today, which is me. I'm the teacher, but for this conversation, let's call this guy Mr. A, and he is a teacher. So Mr. A, as a teacher that taught, let's say he taught English in secondary school, and he's looking to break into the tech industry. He's struggling. Okay, what do I do? What do I learn for me to be able to get into this space? First thing you have to ask yourself is, what are the transferable skills that I have? Okay, because this is where people make a lot of mistakes. When you're looking to transition and you're not leveraging your already existing skills. So as a teacher that taught English in secondary school, by virtue of teaching, he interacted with several people in that same classroom. He had reasons to talk to the students. He had reasons to speak to the teachers, that's his own colleagues, and also to the management. And this is simply what we call stakeholders that exist in this establishment. These are all stakeholders. So by virtue of this Mr. Teacher interacting with these guys, he performed what we call stakeholder analysis, right? He's done what we call stakeholder analysis. So if he is looking to break into the tech sector, question he's going to ask himself is, what area in tech has this stakeholder analysis as part of the inherent skill that you need? And if you look at it clearly, it is business analysis. So if this teacher decides to transition to tech, The easiest way for him or her to break into this sector is by looking at business analysis because he already has an existing skill in this domain. So when we talk about transitioning, it's not hard. The most important thing is make sure you're transitioning from a place that you have transferable skills. And once you're able to identify that transferable skill, you can now pinpoint the exact skill area in the tech industry that your inherent skill is needed. Then once you get into that place, you can now easily be able to, make more meaning for you. All right. So it's not hard. And this is just me trying to digress a little bit to make all of us feel comfortable and know that it's not hard. Okay, so for this exact session that we're having today, by the time that we are done, there are three basic things I'm assuring you. Number one is that you are going to understand AI. All right, so there's been news, a lot of news going round and round and round. And it's simple, it's all around AI. And many people don't even understand what is AI. And the funny part is, many of us think that this thing actually came out last year or last 2 years. The truth is that it has been in works for over a decade now, right? It has been in the pipeline for over a decade, and snippets of it has been dropped several times. So if you've used Samsung for a couple of years ago, or let's even say iPhone a couple of years ago, iPhone had Siri right from time. What exactly do we think Siri is? I know we call it normal voice agent and so on and so forth, but what do we think Siri is? And when did we notice that Siri actually came out? If you want to speak, please feel free to use the raise hand icon and I will let you call you up to speak. If you don't want to speak, just drop it in the comment section and I'll also pick it from there. What do we think Siri is? Or if you are using Samsung, I think Samsung had Bixby. Yeah, Bixby at that earlier time, they had Bixby. What do we think all those applications are? Siri, Bixby, Alexa. Yeah, if you're using normal home Internet of Things, can also come across Alexa. These three agents I've called now, what do we think they are? Siri, Alexa, Bixby. Let me write it so that we also can easily know what I'm saying. So Siri, Alexa, and I think is Bixby. What do we think these guys are? Nobody understands what they are. Oh, fantastic. So if you're using iPhone, Siri is an assistant that can easily help you to set up several things on your phone. Same thing with Alexa. Alexa can easily walk into your house and say, okay, Alexa, do this for me. Alexa, do that for me. And Bixby, on the other hand, is also an agent that is embedded inside Samsung phone that you can also be able to interact with to do a couple of things for you. And for Siri and Bixby, these guys has been in existence for more than 5 years now. All right. So if they've been in existence for more than 5 years, what's making us think that AI is just coming out last year or last 2 years? So this is the time that the breeze is now getting to us fully. That we're now thinking, oh, AI is the next big thing, AI is the next big thing. But it has been existing for a couple of times. Right. So all these three guys I mentioned that they're all voice agents, they're all related to artificial intelligence. Okay. And then number two thing you're going to take out from this conversation is how to land AI roles and start an AI agency. Right. So this is a very, very broad class. How do you get to land AI roles and how do you start an agency relating to AI or using AI to also run what you want to do? Okay. So if you are looking to make extra income, or if I'm not already the CEO of Analytics, there are a lot of things that you can easily be able to utilize AI to do today that is going to help you make a lot of money, right? And I'm not even trying to, sugarcoat it because I'm going to walk us maybe, I may not be able to finish it because of time, but I'm going to walk us through how you can actually be able to do this. Okay, and the most important thing you need to understand is you have to choose a particular niche. All right, so I'll still explain that fully. For instance, today, let's say you are a customer service agent. How do you link AI to customer service agency and be able to do something that is going to make you money? All right, today people write stories, fictional stories, people do ghostwriting, a lot of things just using AI. And they are not even able to, people don't even know them. They're simply behind the scene doing all those things and making money. So all those things that we are using, ChatGPT, Gemini, Cloud, we're just using it as a search engine. They are not just meant to be a search engine. All right. Remember, they've been trained to do a lot of things. So if you are looking to learn from what they've been trained for, then you need to actually be able to also understand how to go about it. And before this session is over today, we are going to walk you through how do you land AI roles and some platforms that you can also utilize with regards to pushing for all these things, as well as the AI agency that we're also going to be. And then finally, how do you position yourself for successfully, right? And how and where to apply. Because most challenge that we do is that the truth is that it doesn't end with just getting skills. Your skill is important, but it doesn't just end there. You need to also learn how do you package yourself. Packaging is one of the most important things I can always speak to people about. In fact, there are people that even package without even having the skill. That's just their packaging alone will get them to the door. It's now at the point of you are trying to now interview, query them, that you're going to observe that this person actually is just a chaff. There's nothing inside. But that packaging alone was very instrumental to them getting to the door. So if you are looking to actually be able to position yourself for success, getting the skill alone is not sufficient. There are several other things that we need to do, and we are going to be talking about it today. So who is excited for us to continue? Who is excited? If you're excited, put something in the comment section so that I'm sure that people actually are listening to what I'm saying. Please, who is excited? Who is here? Who is here? Okay, I can see a couple of reactions. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Fantastic. So first, I'm going to try and explain what AI is. All right, I'm going to try and explain what AI is. Okay, Peace, your hand is raised. Do you have a question that you want to ask, Peace? Your hand is raised. Do you have a question that you want to ask? Or you are trying to also give a reaction like every other person? You are free to put it in the comment section, and then I'm going to react to it as well. All right, so moving on. What exactly is AI? What exactly is AI? If you are currently in the tech ecosystem, you are going to hear a lot of acronyms right now. You're going to hear about AI. You're going to hear about ML. You're going to hear about DL. You're going to hear about LLM. There are several key technologies that play a role here. But simply put, artificial intelligence is just machines that have been trained to perform tasks like human. As simple as that, right? So all those several activities that you or me, all of us that we still do as human, machine can now be trained to do some of those tasks. And once they've been trained to do some of those activities, two things are involved. The people that were doing those activities are threatened, right? And the people that learn how to utilize that AI to do that activities are now going to be the new oil. So when we all hear about AI is going to take our job, AI is going to take our job. AI is not a tsunami, it's not water that is just coming to eclipse your entire life. No. Remember, it's human that are actually training this machine to be able to perform that same task that you are performing. All right, so let me quickly give us an example. I hope my board can actually help me today. For instance, we are trying to train this AI that is okay. My marker is not writing. We are trying to train this AI to be able to recognize pattern. All right, so I'm just going to do a little bit of simulation to recognize pattern. And what we expect it to do is this. All right, I think my board should be up now. We've given the AI this. I don't know how to draw a brain. So this is supposed to be a brain. But using another example, right? We'll give AI, we drew this sign, and we drew this sign. Now, do you think AI, my screen is not showing. Please, guys, confirm if my screen is showing. Are we meant to see your screen? Please, let's confirm if my screen is showing. All right, yeah, Uche, people are giving me thumbs up. Please, if you're not seeing my screen, it means that possibly you joined as a companion. All right, so you may want to drop off and join back the conversation again. All right, just drop off and join back. Don't join as a companion, join proper so that I can actually be able to see my screen. So this is the inputs that we've given AI. All right, we've given AI triangles, not showing please static. It is from your own side. All right, it is from your own side. We've given AI these inputs. This one, do you think AI will be able to predict what the next outcome will be? All right, so he will not be able to predict it. I don't want to call it he or she. It will not be able to predict it. But once you've given AI triangle zero block, and then you are giving it again another triangle zero block, and then again triangle zero block. Then tomorrow, if you come to inquire from this same AI about anything, all right, once you've been able to give it, oh, I've given you triangle, I've given you zero, what do you think it's going to do next? It is going to give you a block because this is what it has been trained with. This is what it has been trained with. So it's simply the same data that we've been able to train it with that it has learned from and is now giving us that same data back. So when we see all these things happen, it's not magic that AI is doing. It's not magic. All right. So for instance, today someone has imputed a data telling it that it has been linked to Google. For instance, if you're using Gemini, and if it's linked to Google, it is automatically trained with most of the data that is available on Google, which means it has seen that Chukwuemeka Ikpa has a session. Okay, let me give you an example. If you go to online, what you're going to see is that Efemina Ipro has a session today. All right, he's the one that's supposed to be taking this session. So if you come and ask AI, okay, who is going to take that session today? Trust me, it is going to tell you Efemina Ipro because that's the information that the data has been trained with. But in actual sense, who is taking this session today is simply Chukwuemeka Ikpa. All right. So the same way the human mind cannot be predicted sometimes, that is how some of this AI cannot also be predicted. It's simply giving you information based on how it has been trained. All right. And because of the information that we floated out a couple of days ago about this session, who will be taking it, Efemina Ipro is going to recognize that Efemina Ipro will be taking this session today. So if you garbage in and try to garbage out again and ask who is taking International Business Masterclass today, it's going to tell you Efemina Ipro. But that is actually wrong because I am the one that is now taking it because of some human exigencies. So AI is simply going to give you what it has been trained with. I don't know if we'll be able to understand how this thing works. So if you want to be able to be amongst people that is going to leverage AI, remember, someone is training this AI. Someone is feeding it with all these things. Someone is giving it that learning that it needs. If you want to be able to, because after it has been trained, so for instance, internalities, we are trying to do a couple of things where AI callers are going to be placing call to people and telling them about sessions. Now, what does this simply mean? The person that we currently have on ground that makes manual call should be frightened. That's the truth. The person shouldn't be frightened. But what do you do in that instance? It is for you as that salesperson that is making that call to learn, how do I utilize this AI to better my own work? All right? Because remember, your job is already being used to train it. So if you don't go that route of you learning how to utilize it to perform that your task, means that once it is now able to perform your activity, your role will be threatened. A couple of weeks ago, we went to train one of the biggest financial institutions here in Nigeria about how to utilize AI in their different activities. So they use Microsoft tools. So the AI agent that they wanted to also use is Microsoft Copilot, all right? Because it's already embedded into their processes. And there were a couple of things that we did. And the manager turned and asked one of the staff there, what exactly are you doing on this in this company again? Because what we did using AI is what this guy is doing for every month and he's being paid. So that kind of question should threaten you if you are hearing this. But when we talk about artificial intelligence, it's not meant to scare people. It's simply meant to make you aware of where the world is transitioning to, where the world is going to. And what we expect you to do is to learn how to utilize it and then be able to use it on your own role. It's just like what if you're a realtor and you sell land, what they always say is find out where the people are going and get there and buy the land before they get there. Exactly, that's simply how they put it. Find out where the people are going to and buy the land before they get there. So that is also what's applicable here. Find out what is going on in this tech ecosystem, which is more of AI right now, and learn it before the world gets there. So when I tell people that I transitioned a couple of bros, if I tell you my story, people that joined my last session would have heard my story and how I moved. I started my career from the site. And when I mean from the site, I said I studied civil engineering, but it's not from the site working as a civil engineer. It's from the site working as a bricklayer. It's from the site working as a bricklayer. And because of all those aspects of if this skill is coming up, I will instantly go and learn it and then transition. If this one is coming up, I will instantly go and learn it and then transition. If this one is coming out, I will also go and master it and transition. That is how I'm able to move from being a bricklayer to being the CEO of a tech company today. And this is not just magic. It's not something that happened overnight. It's things, skills that you acquire over a period of time. Okay, so when we say all these things, it is not magic. We simply learn the skill that is applicable at that very moment and then use it for your own benefit. So if you're still wondering if AI is here to take over, it is here to help people that know how to use it to optimize on their role. And there are several technologies that play key roles in AI. So remember when I was speaking, I talked about artificial intelligence, I talked about ML, I talked about DL, I talked about LLM and several other ones, and Gen AI. So when we talk about ML, this is what we call machine learning. All right. And that explanation I gave last is a typical understanding of machine learning. All right. So it is taking data that will fed into the system, learn with it, and then be able to predict patterns. Remember what I showed us last time? We've given AI triangle, zero, block, and then we're not asking it to continue to predict. Once you've given it that initial one, it can't be able to predict because if you fed it triangle, zero, block, triangle, zero, block, triangle, zero, block. So anytime that it has to do anything like this, it already knows that, oh, once triangle goes, zero is going to come in, block is going to come in, and then triangle again. So this is what you call machine learning. It has learned how to do this. Then we're not talking about DL. This is deep learning. Now, this is what, if you're looking to break into, most of us, we are hearing about this AV, that's autonomous vehicles and robotics. And that has to deal with, there are now neural networks, all right, that have been embedded to be able to mimic how the human mind is going to function. Now, these machines are now being trained with neural networks. That is where they're now diving deeper to be able to perform activities that are complex. All right. So machine learning is simply to be able to predict pattern using several data that have been fed into it. DeepL is simply neural networks now being linked between that machine and also the human mind to be able to predict all these patterns. And that is where AV and robotics are tilting to. All right, so if you've heard about robotics and you're wondering how robotics works or how all these autonomous vehicles actually operate, it's simply using deep learning. Then, but what we're going to be talking about today is centered around this guy that we have here, and that is simply generative AI. Okay, now this is to show you that there are several technologies that are embedded inside artificial intelligence. When we talk about AI, you're talking about both machine learning, you're talking about deep learning, talking about LLMs, you're talking about generative AIs, and several other technologies that exist there. And when we talk about generative AI, these ones are simply algorithms that can create content. All right, it can give you images, can give you music, can give you text. There's this generative AI I was using a couple of weeks ago. Guys, I couldn't believe it. People know that I have a song right now. So I just fed this AI lyrics that I just generated from ChatGPT and asked it to sing this exact song using the normal Afrobeat tune. And it gave me a song, right? And this is to show you the extent that the world has tilted to. All right. So Gen AIs are simply algorithms that can create all these contents for you, images, music, text, and so on and so forth. And for Gen AI to function, it's also leveraging both ML and also DL for you to be able to get to it. Was that you understand that I did that? I'm not following my guy. I'm not following on the question that you asked right now. Okay. So for you to be able to utilize generative AI, it is also leveraging both deep learning and also machine learning. So are you seeing that even those tools that we use today, Gemini, ChatGPT, Cloud, and several other ones, they are already leveraging some of these key technologies that are already embedded. So two things are left for everyone. Either you learn how to be able to build these platforms, or you learn how to be able to use the platform. There is no third option. There is no third option. If you are a HR in this call today, HR are making use of ATS to scan, to be able to, help ease out their jobs. Okay, no, I'm not the one that did that, Afone, but several people are actually doing it these days, okay? Several people are actually utilizing that same platform to sing songs right now, okay? So what I'm saying is that two things are left for everyone, all right? Either you look towards being part of people that will build the platform, or you are being part of the people that will know how to leverage the platform. Today, I'm sure many of us, okay, let me just ask us, which AI platforms do we know? Let's just put it in the comment section. Let's just put it in the comment section. Which AI platforms do we know right now and do we utilize? Okay, which AI platform do we know and do we also utilize? Let's just drop it in the comments so that I can also be able to get something. Somebody said Copilot, fantastic. Kalija, ChatGPT, fantastic. I'm struggling to pronounce this name, Okions. I'm struggling to pronounce your name. I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry about that. Okions said ChatGPT as well. Afone, DeepSeek, Grok, ChatGPT, Queen, great. Olisa Lama, fantastic. Dan Katz, Julius, great. Abdulatif, Meta AI, Gemini, Francis Lindy. You can see that there are several AI that exist. Do you guys want to know the truth? There's one that nobody on this call have actually heard, and the name is called Oluko. All right? There's one that you guys have not heard. It's called Oluko, and it's meant for the 1% of the 1%. Now, Oluko is actually an AI platform or AI tool that we built in-house. All right? Hello, you said Jarvis. I don't know about that. So Oluko is an AI platform that we built in-house at Tenalytics. Yeah, it is not public, so it's simply a private AI. All right, so it's meant for our students to also have access to it and be able to utilize it in their own aspect. So what it simply means is that, when you use, what's it called? When you use ChatGPT to write, trust me, if I look at your work, I can actually be able to say, oh, this guy used ChatGPT, unless you made a couple of changes to it, which is where human mind come in. So that's why we made our own to be private, so that not everyone can have access to the AI, so that people that are utilizing it will have that ability to be unique for the meantime. All right. So this is just to tell you guys that there are several generative AIs that exist out there. In fact, the ones I have on my slide is simply ChatGPT, Gemini, and Cloud, but there are a lot of them that exist. So what you need to do right now is to learn. Most of us use all these Gen AIs for things like, what is this? Tell me about this, and so on and so forth. But that same generative AI can build you I don't want to exaggerate, let's say a platform that helps you generate at least 100K per month. All right, this is me not trying to exaggerate. At least 100,000 per month. I have a friend that what this guy does is he does assignments for people abroad because of the whole Japan syndrome that exists. So this guy, what he's doing in Nigeria is he's helping people regarding their education struggles abroad. That's how he branded himself, education assistant, right? And how exactly is he doing all these things? He studied, I think he studied statistics and then got a master's degree or something like that. But even if it's a course that is relating to public health, he's helping people to write their theses, solve their issues, and so on and so forth. And what he does is simply, once he takes the topic, he's going to ask AI to teach him everything that he needs to know. Once he's done learning it, he's going to look for several papers on that same topic. And then he's going to build all these things together and produce the paper that anybody needs. And he's doing this from the comfort of his house. And I can, if someone is in UK, US, or Canada, and they are billing him or he's billing them, he doesn't even bill in Naira. So this is to show you the extent that all these things can happen. And people actually do land jobs. Okay, we have a couple of people that when they joined our own programs, they didn't go the AI route, but what they wanted was, oh, I need a skill that relates to tech. People like Abigail. Abigail used to work as a care worker in Edmonton, Canada, but right now she's working as a business analyst in that same Edmonton. And several other people that have been able to do this. Abdrashid is currently still in Nigeria, but initially he was living, I think, in either Ogun or Ekiti. But after he landed his own role, that is with Chart 420 in US, he relocated from Ekiti State to Abuja. So currently he's living in Abuja and working for a company in USA. Now, these things are possible if you are able to get that skill, right? Once you're able to get the skill, trust me, you are going to be able to learn all the show. And I always mention to people that it is not you packaging yourself first. First thing that you need to do is for you to learn the skill. And this is where many of us make the mistake. If I ask us to drop our LinkedIn today, if I go to everyone's LinkedIn right now, I'm going to see something that relates to, I'm a data analyst. But if I decide to give you, okay, take SQL, use SQL to go into this database and make a correction to a table inside that database, you may not be able to do it. But you branded yourself that you are a data analyst. So this is where the mistake lies. We package before we learn. So first thing that we always advise people to do is to learn the skill. And this is not about learning anyhow skill. Learn the skills that are in demand. Learn the skills that are in demand. All right. If you check World Economic Forum reports, you're going to see the in-demand skill. So why I'm saying this is simple. Many of us that were born in the 90s and we were growing up, our parents said, okay, study this course, study that course, because they felt those are the courses that were in demand. I studied civil engineering, all right? And then if you study civil engineering, it's a professional course. Once you finish, jobs are waiting for you, Julius Berger, this, and so on and so forth. See me today now. All right? So they will always mention to you, these are the skills that are in demand. And some people are still making that same mistake today, learning several things that are not even in demand. So first thing is for you to identify the in-demand skills and then learn them. I've identified a couple of ones that are here: data, AI, prompting, social influence. All these things that our parents used to beat us then. Chukwemeka, why are you always on the phone? It is now a skill that is among the fastest growing skills as of today. Social influence. I was trying to hire someone for a role because we're trying to do a couple of courses, even though the person is a tech person, because we needed a DevOps engineer for an activity. So what we simply agreed is that we want a DevOps engineer that has social influence as well. So you can see that even the tech skill that we have alone is no more sufficient. All right? My tech skill is not sufficient anymore. I need to also be able to back it up with some certain social skills if I'm looking to take the company to a different level. Imagine me as a CEO right now, or Analytics as a business right now, and we don't even have social influence, and we're here speaking to you at the moment. You're going to feel, these guys are scammers, so I went to their Instagram. I did not see anything. I started website. I didn't see anything. That's the same way that when you don't have some of this social presence, people are going to feel, oh, this person doesn't even know what he's doing. Even though within yourself, you know that you have a lot of skill. So let's make sure we get all the skills that are in demand. Maybe not all of them, but the ones that are very much highly needed. Don't learn anyhow. Streamline get a particular one and learn it. And after that, you package yourself, as in package yourself. Packaging is very, very, very crucial. And then many of us as at today, when we see some of these influencers online and we're saying these guys are living fake life, that might be a fake life to you, but that is packaging that they are doing to be able to get some of the deals that they are looking for. You see someone go to the extent of borrowing private jets just to shoot a music video, or someone going the extent of even entering Uber. What happens to entering normal public transport? All right, just to package themselves. So all these things are part of what is also going to elevate your status. If you joined my session a couple of weeks ago, I said something that is very crucial, because I came to Nigeria because we're trying to do some arrangements with some universities in Nigeria. And then the VC of one of these prominent schools asked me a very important question. Chukwuemeka, how many years of experience do you have? Now, if you look at me, I'm a very young guy, very, very young. And when he asked me that question of how many years of experience do I have, I know what he is trying to do. 100% I knew what he was trying to do. So what I did was simply, I responded to him, oh, our management team has close to 50 years of experience. Personally, I have 11 years of experience. My founder has 20 years of experience. My co-founder has 15 years of experience. And collectively, we have close to 50 years of experience. Now, remember what he asked me was simply, how many years of experience do I have? Did I answer that question by virtue of saying the other things? Yes. Was I also able to provide context to him that even though my experience may not be sufficient to what he's looking for, we have a management team that has wealth of experience that should be able to back this up. And that is simply packaging. Some people are going to say this person is boboing, this person is lying, and so on and so forth. But it is simply packaging. All right. For instance, my background may not really be amazing, okay, but there's a backdrop right here, and it is also part of packaging. Oh, someone joined the call. Oh, the guy was speaking. He has a background. He's wearing a cap that is matching his polo. Do you know he was able to write on his screen with just a pen, and also and so forth. All these things are packaging. And for you that is also looking for a job, your CV packaging is very, very important. One major mistake that we always do is we just use one single CV to apply to multiple roles, and we just do easy apply, easy apply, easy apply. It is not enough. It is not enough. So it's important for you to tailor your CV down to the job that you are going for. And then also optimize your LinkedIn, be visible. When people search about you, they search about Odion, they search about Matthew, they search about Suleiman, they're going to see, oh, Suleiman actually posted yesterday about generative AI. For instance, after this conversation today, they can just go on and say, do you know AI there are different technologies that is embedded inside artificial intelligence? You have machine learning, you have deep learning, you have generative AI, you have LLM. And that's simply a post that you've made. But if someone search your name on Google tomorrow, that post is going to come out. And these are things that is going to be able to back you up. These are things that is going to back you up. Imagine after this session, you guys go online, search my name, and you are seeing, oh, this boy is just, he was at Kilos yesterday. He was at Diamond Bar the other day. He was at, you're not going to even take me serious. So it's important for you to back up some of the skills that you have with social presence, your CV optimized, your LinkedIn optimized, and of course, your portfolio speaking for itself. The interview preparatory sessions is very, very crucial. How do you answer interview questions? Let me just explain one. There's one framework that we call the STAR framework. Right? So what STAR framework stands for is situation, task, action, and results. So situation is, what were you doing as at the time that this question was asked? For instance, someone asked me, hi Chukwuemeka, tell me about a time where you've been able to, work with a company, or you've been able to analyze data and provide insights for them. This is a situation-based question. So simply, I'm going to answer it like this. Oh, while I was consulting with analytics, I worked on this project. Now, that aspect of I was consulting with analytics is my situation. Now, I worked on this project where I was assigned to analyze hospital ER visit analysis. That was my task. Remember, I've said two major important things. My situation, which is while I was consulting with analytics, worked on a project, which is hospital ER visit analysis, and then actions are now, what did I do? I was able to use Power BI, and then I was able to scrape the data from the website using Power BI, analyze it, so on and so forth. I've mentioned my action, which is using Power BI. And then in the end, I was able to provide some insights into the reports that showed them where they were lacking and was able to improve their turnover, which in return improved their revenue. So when you speak like this, even though you just worked on a project, you've spoken in a way that recruiters are going to think this guy actually had an experience, because there's a situation, there's a task, there's an action, and there is a result. So these are things that some people do not know, that this is how to answer interview questions. This is how to package yourself and make yourself a bigger person in the room whenever you go for all these things. Then also application, all right? Apply like a machine. Apply like an AI. Let them ask you, are you sure you're not spamming us? You've applied 10 jobs today, applying to 10 jobs tomorrow. Let them be asking, is this guy a human? Okay, because it is also a numbers game. If you apply to one job today and I apply to 10 jobs today, there's already more probability of me landing a job than you. All right, so it is also a numbers game. Now, this 1 and 2 might be the same experience for everyone that decides to learn and package themselves, because we're going to teach you the skill, also help you package. But when it comes to applying, the skill is this segment is fully on you. So it means that you are now going to go into several job boards and be able to apply to jobs. All right, so quickly, once you're able to do all these things, next thing is that you are definitely going to land a job. You are definitely going to land a job. I know I mentioned a couple of in-demand skills outside there. So I want us to take a very close look at my slide right now. A very close look at my slide, all right? So if you look at my slide, you're going to see that there are several segments of skills that humans need to have. You have your cognitive skills, you have your engagement skills, and have your ethics skills, management skills, technology skills, and several other skills that exist. All right. And according to World Economic Forum reports, so every year, world leaders, economic leaders come together in different countries to talk about several aspects of life. And one of the things that they always talk about is also the future of jobs. Okay. And inside that future of job, they discuss things around what are the core skills that people need to have as of now. So according to that World Economic Forum report for this year, 2025, the number one core skill that people need to have is analytical skill. Analytical skill. Can you see where AI and data is? Number 11. AI and data is number 11. What people need to have right now is simply analytical thinking. You're seeing your resilience, flexibility, and agility. You're seeing leadership and social influence. Social influence. And then creative thinking and several others. This is according to the core skills in 2025. Then there's now the next one around, okay, which one is the fastest growing word skill as of today? Can clearly see that the fastest growing word skill as of today is simply AI and big data. AI and big data. Are we all still following me right now? Are we still here on this call? I like engagement. So please, anytime I just feel free, use the comment section, use the icons to show me that you are here. All right. Can clearly see that AI and big data is now the fastest growing word skill. I remember what I said earlier. The best time to get into a skill is at the time that is now the fastest growing. For instance, if your own is still that you're remaining to be an analytical thinker, that is where you just are. Remember, this is 2025 already. This is the core skill as of 2025, analytical thinking. But then the fastest growing one between 2025 and 2030 is AI and big data. It simply means that if you are looking to learn a new skill, you should be able to prioritize all these one that I see here. Number one is AI and big data. Number two is networks and cybersecurity. Number three is technological literacy. They can see your creative thinking and so on and so forth. So if you decide to bracket this by their own segments of skill, consider as of 2025, Analytical thinking was number one, which is under cognitive skill, right? You're not seeing your resilience, flexibility, and agility, which are under self-efficacy. You are seeing leadership, this one, which is under working with others. Before you can see anything that has to do with technology, is from number 6. That's where you can now see technological skills. But when you look at it from the fastest growing skill, first one you are seeing now is AI and big data. This is tech skill. Networks and cyber security. This is tech skill. Technological literacy. This is tech skill. So in 2025, the 3 fastest growing skills as of now are all within technological skills. Before you now start seeing things around cognitive skill, self-efficacy, and so on and so forth. So even if you have those cognitive skills and you lack those tech skills, there's going to be a challenge, right? Whether you are in sales, whether you are in customer service, whether you are in creative design, whether you are in different walks of life, it's important that you have these top 3 skills. And trust me, the easiest one amongst all these that everyone can get into is AI and data. AI and data. Because as of today, if I tell you, okay, let's talk to you about cyber security, this call is going to break into 2. Or when I start saying, okay, let's talk about data science and data engineering, it's going to also be a very chaotic place. But AI and data has possibility of you, even if you do not have any technical ability, for you to learn how to utilize them. Okay? For you to be able to learn how to utilize them. All right. So for people that are just joining us now, please let's make sure that we fill the attendance form. So with the attendance form, after this conversation, we are going to share the slide with you and also the recorded version of this conversation. So we share the recorded version with you and also the slide. And when you get the slide, please make sure you click on these places that I have highlighted. Click on them. And it's taken to the World Economic Forum report. It is a very, very amazing report. Go through it. So like, don't take my word for it. Be able to get your own knowledge yourself as well, right? When you click on that link to take you to the World Economic Forum report, you read through it, and you're also going to have more insights that I may not actually be able to provide for you, right? So if you've not learned one thing today, remember, we talked about AI. We're not showing you the skill that's actually in demand if you're looking to learn, and that is AI and big data, and then some of those technological skills. Right, so AI and data, they top the list of the fastest growing skills as of today. Now, I also mentioned that we are going to also show you a couple of places to also apply to job. For someone like me that I'm never in one place, today I can be in Nigeria, tomorrow I can be in another place. The easiest place for you to actually look for a job is actually using working nomads. So I know many of us, we are all tilted towards LinkedIn, right? So it's not just about LinkedIn. There are several platforms that exist right now that we all can utilize to land roles. So simply, I think I embedded the link to all of them. Yeah, this should be remote, okay. This should be working nomad. This should be angel list, and then this is we work remotely. All right, so let's look at, which one should I look at first? Let's look at remote, okay. Attendance form not opening. Treasure Uche, please let's look at that comment and see that is result, please. All right. And if another person is experiencing that, please feel free to drop it there. But if you're able to fill the attendance, also speak up so that we know whether it is a personalized experience that that individual is having. All right. So as I was saying, these days is not just about LinkedIn. There are several platforms that we can always utilize for us to be able to land roles. Okay. Number one is you can easily use things like attendance. Okay, fantastic. That means it's working. Right? You can use things like remote okay, can use working nomad, can use we work remotely, several of them. And when you get into these places, you're going to see that this is actually fully remote roles. You can see this one is just asking for a virtual assistant and it's paying $28 per hour. Right? But many of us, we might just be fixated on just utilizing LinkedIn looking for all these jobs. All right? But there are several platforms that people are now using with regards to looking for jobs. You can see this is just for a virtual assistant, this is for a mid-level backend, this is for an online data researcher with bonus. Right? This is for a UX engineer, this is for an educator, an engineering lead, a senior editor. Imagine you're someone that writes. This is a place that can actually get work from. And this is just remote okay. Right? So there are several platforms that you can always utilize. And this is even the free version of it. So it doesn't mean that you even have to pay. It's fully the free version. All right. We have the working nomads. If you get to working nomads, you're also going to see their own job availabilities that are posted there. A lot of them. You can see this one. You can see this one is social media manager and so on and so forth. Remote data analyst. No experience required. Coding tech bootcamp. Digital marketing specialist. A lot of them. And some of these tasks, imagine you went for one of the ones that is around editor. You can use generative AI to function as an editor. But remember, before you start coming to these aspects, you need to first of all learn the skill. So if you've not learned the skill, that means there is no packaging, there is no application to follow suit. So first thing is for you to learn the skill and then package yourself and then apply. So you can see several different jobs that exist here for the working nomad. You can see personalized internet ads assessor, personalized internet ads assessor, okay, online ads assessor, different words, okay, head of insurance, online data researcher, and so many of them. All right. So remember, fill the attendance form so you have access to this. If you also click on we work remotely, the same thing. You're also going to see several jobs that are also posted here that do not exist on LinkedIn. So I always mention to people that if a job is on LinkedIn, trust me, most time they've tried to fill that job before bringing it to LinkedIn, right? And where some of them always post is in various of in these platforms that I'm just showing us now. So it's important for you to make sure that you have access to some of these places. You can see live technical support representative. For this kind of job, you don't even need to be an expert. Remote customer service rep, right? Just like on this call, you're a customer service person. There are customer service jobs that also exist online. So we'll talk about AI. And remember, that same AI that you learned can actually be able to utilize them to perform most of these activities. Can always be able to utilize them to perform some of these activities. So there are several of them, but I just simply highlighted just not four, five of the different platforms that we have. Remote OK, working nomads, we work remotely, Angelis, and of course, our amazing LinkedIn. I'm a champion of LinkedIn. No matter any platform that comes up, I will always recognize these guys called LinkedIn. Because no matter what, LinkedIn is still there for everyone to be able to build up their own public profile. I hope we are all getting value to this very moment. Are we still all getting value to this very moment? Are we still following me? Are we still here? Dankat, Ulisse, I can see your reaction. Kazim, fantastic. Right, once I have up to 3 reactions, I'm okay. Now, next thing is, how do you now leverage AIs to build an agency? This is a very tasking one. How do you leverage AI to now build an agency? I know I've scratched every single thing that we talked about today. We talked about the in-demand skill, we talked about AI entirely, we talked about how do you apply. Now, lastly, let's look at how do you leverage some of these places to build an AI agency. Now, this is going to be a lot. What I was able to do, I was able to, build something, a little bit of pattern that we can easily be able to utilize if you're looking to build anything. All right, if you're looking to build anything right now, first thing that you need to understand is actually for you to choose a niche. All right, so for me, if I'm deciding to go into the market, let's assume I'm not a CEO of a tech company right now, which exact place will I go to? So what I would advise people to do is to look at your exact existing skill. Look at your own exact existing skill, all right? When you look at your skill, you can now find out how do you offer that skill to people? How do you broaden it and make it bigger and offer that same service to people? Okay, so first thing, once you're able to find out what you need to do or the skills that you have, that is when you can actually be able to go into something, right? So I was able to design this using Blur.io, which is also a tool that people need to learn. Right, so simply put, first thing we're going to be looking at, we're going to choose a niche, and then we're going to choose an ICP. ICP is just your ideal customer profile. So you're looking to bring this thing to market. What's the ideal customer profile of what you're looking to do? Then choose your offer or service. What are you looking to offer people? All right, and then of course, brand your agency, then most likely create a logo, then buy a domain. Of course, how to build out your GSP. GSP is just your go high level. So if you are now looking to do the marketing aspect of your business, most of the things here are technical. All right. So I'm giving everybody a blueprint to run a business right now. This is a blueprint for you to build a business, but you can do all these things utilizing AI. All right. So for everyone here, and I'm building out your GHP, that's your marketing back end, your automations, your calendar, your funnels. They are moving to your filming your first pre-call video because people need to hear what you have to talk about. Okay. And then, of course, you're now moving to the aspect of you're trying to make sales, you're building out your ad strategy, making a Facebook page, making ads, and of course, you're making a copy. What's the word that when people hear, they'll think about you? And then you're launching your ads, and then moving to sales calls, and of course, you're trying to close clients. Now, we may not be able to finish every single thing today, but this is to show you that it is possible. So quickly, I'll try as much as possible for us to finish this first segment that's around you identifying your business and choosing a niche. So first, just give me 15 minutes, all right? And let's build this thing out. 15 minutes, let's try and build this thing out as fast as possible. All right, so we're going to utilize ChatGPT to try and do this thing right now. Quickly, we're going to utilize ChatGPT to try and build this thing right now. So when you're trying to do most of these things, first thing I always advise you to do is you have to solve a problem. All right, you have to solve a problem. So from the initial demographical data that I gathered here, I believe most people here are in Nigeria. Most people are in Nigeria, so I'm going to dive into Nigerian problem, right? And let's see what we can come up with. Now, I hope this thing doesn't fail me today because I've not been able to try this out. So first thing you have to ask yourself is when it comes to doing what you want to do now, what service can you actually provide to people? Okay. So let me ask ChatGPT something. When it comes to building, when it comes to ignore some typographical error that should please try copying. Okay, ignore some typo errors that might come up when it comes to working with local businesses in Nigeria. Okay, and offering, let me tilt it to marketing perspective, right? And offering marketing. Who are top industries to go after? Who are the top industries to go after? All right, ignore some typo errors. This is a all right. So let's see what's going to give us. We're all doing this, and we're trying to see what is actually going to give us. So it's giving us really insight in what is happening. If you are targeting local Nigerian businesses to offer marketing services, here are the top industries. What's focusing on right now? First is retail and e-commerce. Why? Explosion of online shopping, needs, pay ads, blah blah blah. You have food and beverages, FMCG restaurants, quick service. You have your real estate and construction. You have your financial service, education, several things. But remember, you need to tailor it down to your own specific. I just tailored it down to marketing. All right. I want to see what's going to give me when it comes to working with local businesses in Nigeria and offering customer service. What top industry to go after? That might be your own background. Or when or offering, let's say, teaching. What top industries to go after? And so many things like that. You have to brand it. Oh my God, guys, is my network shaking? Treasure, please, someone should unmute and speak to me. All right, thank you, Uche. The person commenting, it might be your own network. Sorry about that, but it might be your own network. All right, so you have to, tilt it to what you want to do. All right, so first thing is, if you're targeting local businesses to offer marketing services, we are going to move with this retail and e-commerce. So let's move with retail and e-commerce since it's number one that we are seeing here. All right, let me try and create a new slide so that we can actually be able to be doing this right on this call here. All right, so I've created a new slide to be able to stretch all this thing. Remember, first thing that we need to do is to choose a niche. All right, remember, first thing that we need to do is to choose a niche. And that's speaking from here, choose a niche and then choose your ideal customer profile. All right, ideal customer profile. We've selected our niche, which is retail and e-commerce. So let's call it our niche. Retail and e-commerce. That's our niche. Let's bring it down a little bit. Hope we all can still see my screen. So after selecting this thing, what next are you going to actually look out for? All right. Now, this is where prompt engineering come in. Most of us as of today, we use generative AIs to just ask, oh, generative AI, what is artificial intelligence? What is this? What is that? Without knowing that we can actually leverage this thing to build out a business for you. Okay? Without knowing that we can actually use it to build out a business for you. Now, with chosen retail and e-commerce, we're now trying to build our ideal customer profile. So we're now going to ask that same generative AI, okay, remember, we've tutored it to marketing, so we have to make our conversations to all be within that same bracket. Now, we're asking the Gen AI when it comes to retail and e-commerce, right? Which age bracket is best to offer paid online social media services? All right, let's ask you this. All right, ignore my typographical errors. You're just trying to beat time. Okay, so for retail and e-commerce in Nigeria, the best age bracket to target with paid online media services is 18 to 24, Gen Z students and early earners, 25 to 35, young professionals and entrepreneurs. You can see the different things that it's giving us. And then in summary, core age brackets for return on investment, all right, is 25 to 34. Most responsive, strong purchasing power. Now, the secondary bracket is now 18 to 24. Now, we've been able to build out our ideal customer profile, all right? You can see the other things that is even asking whether it wants you to do, okay, would you like me to map this into actual strategies and so on and so forth? So let's go with our own, what's it called? Age bracket. Let's call it age. Let's say 25 to 35 years of age. Now, we've mapped out our ideal customer profile. Okay, we've mapped out our ideal customer profile. I hope we are all still with me. Remember, we're trying to build up a business right on this call, and we're going to see where we're going to finish before today is over. Now, I'm going to rush a little bit. So first thing that we need to do is we have chosen our niche, we have chosen our ideal customer profile, and then we'll also be able to now choose offer or services. Okay, choose offer or services. So what are you looking to actually give these people? All right, you that is trying to offer a service, what do you have inherently that you're trying to give them? Remember, like I said earlier, it doesn't have to be the same way I'm talking about. Okay, it doesn't have to be the same way I'm speaking about it fully. So you can choose your entire domain. It can be in product, it can be in customer service, it can be in several aspects of life that we are not discussing here. So choose your own domain and then build ads from there. All right, choose your own domain and build ads from there. So we've selected our niche, we've chosen our ideal customer profile. So next thing is, okay, I need to add our location because we are building this for Nigeria. I believe we are all here building this for Nigeria. So location, let's say Nigeria. Some of us might decide to streamline. Now, streamlining may make you not to get where you're looking. For instance, you're streamlining to Lagos, Nigeria. If it's an online service, there's possibility for you to reach people in several places. All right, so that streamlining may not be what is needed at that initial point. So we're doing for Nigeria entirely. And then remember, we're trying to offer marketing services. So what exactly are these people going to be looking for? What exactly are they going to be looking out for? So generally, I would just, off the top of my head, I'm going to say they are looking for visibility plus AI system. Remember, you also need to package AI systems to be able to be more visible to people and make more sales and so on and so forth. So they are looking for visibility plus AI system. Now, we've been able to map out our customer. We've chosen a niche. We've chosen our ideal customer profile. And next thing now is for us to choose our offer and services. So for offer and services, let's ask this guy a question again. That's generative AI that we have here. So next thing is, let's talk about offer / services. All right, offer and service, scroll down, and then let's go back to AI and ask AI a very, very important question. What would be the goal? Yeah. What would be the goal or a treasure or ideal outcome with working with retail and e-commerce? The attendance form, please. Please, let's resolve Nick Precious challenge. All right, you can see that. Great question. When working with retail and e-commerce business, the goal ideal customer market is always around customer acquisition. Okay, so they're looking for customers, which is one major thing that most of them want. They are looking for customers. All right, now customer retention, brand visibility, awareness, scalability, and so on and so forth. So ideal outcome for this guy is to acquire more customers, increase repeat purchase, and maximize revenue per customer. So let's take this as the goal that these guys want to meet. All right, as the goal that they want to meet. So the goal that they want to meet is simple, which is around, let me type it here. I know I didn't put goal before, but this is coming and going. Acquire more customers, and so on and so forth. So let's put it at the end of this page. The goal is for them to acquire more customers, increase repeat purchase, and then maximize revenue per customer. Now, how do you help them achieve this goal? This is where your offer and service come in. So as someone that is trying to specialize in marketing and all those things, basically it's going to be around ads and optimization. Remember, if you're someone that your own is around customer service, it's going to be around customer support and technical support. So let's call it FB, IG, and TikTok ads. TikTok ads. So we have our service right now. But this service that we provided, how does this sound to people? How do we brand it to make it look good? So people also want to hear things that is going to make them want to come to market straight. Right. So first thing I'll ask this guy is, what can you provide for them? So your offer is Facebook, Instagram, TikTok ads. Okay, but what can you provide to them? So let's say I can provide to them is that your offer is, this is what you have to make up what you want to provide. Let's say 10 paying customers, 10 new paying customers over a period of 6 months. This might be small, this might be big. Remember, we are doing this from the scratch, so there might be some errors. Depending on how big your own dream is actually, can actually be able to achieve what you want to do. So we want to be able to achieve 10 new paying customers. Now, this is our offer, 10 new paying customers. Remember, this is our own offer. Now, we want to be able to rebrand this so that we can actually be able to provide it in a way that makes sense. Our offer to them is this, which is this: 10 new paying customers over a period of 6 months. Refine it to make more sense. All right, so we've asked to refine it so that it can make more sense for us. Let's see what it's going to give us. Okay, we help retail and e-customer brands consistently acquire at least 60 new paying brands. Okay, this is growth oriented. We'll deliver 10 new paying customers every month for your business, or you don't pay. Oh, this makes sense. This makes sense. I didn't really see it from this perspective before, but I'm going to choose what it's giving me right now. We'll deliver 10 new paying customers for you, or you do not pay. So let's take this as our new offer. So this is what we are going to be offering them now, which is we are going to deliver 10 new paying customers to you, or you are not going to pay. So remember, we've been able to choose our niche, we've been able to choose our ideal customer profile, we've been able to choose offer and service. Next thing we now need to do is we need to brand. So when it comes to branding, that is where major work comes in. So let's brand ourselves. Still using this same generative AI. I'm trying to be faster. Let's brand ourselves. Okay, so give me 10 business domain names I can use with .ai or .io to help retail and e-commerce businesses scale fast. Okay, scale using AI. Okay, let's get a business name. Now, giving us a business name, Shop Smart at AI, Retail Boost, and so on, Ecom Genu, Sales Flow, Cat Convert, and so on and so forth. So quickly, because of time, I'm going to just go with anyone, click2customer.ai, buy Predict AI, Growth Cards. I like the second one, which is retailboost.ai, retailboost.ai. So let's use retailboost.ai. Retailboost.ai. So we've been able to get a business name right now. We've gotten a business name, which is Retail Boost. All right, our business name is retailboost.ai, and most likely that's going to be our domain name. All right, so quickly, if now we've gotten a business name, remember, next thing that we have right here is now for you to buy domain, create logo, and so on and so forth. So fast, let's create a logo. All right, let's create a logo. Create a logo. I hope ChatGPT can create a logo for me. I hope it can create a logo for me. Okay, make a logo. Are we still following, or we've dropped off? Make a logo. Okay, fantastic. Make a logo as a marketer. Okay, make a logo as a marketer looking to help retail and e-commerce businesses to internet is not friendly. I hope this is not my own. Looking businesses to scale. Okay, using AI. Okay, I love the color purple. Because of our brand color, I'm going to use purple. All right. I love the color purple. So you can see how I'm prompting it, and it's giving me what I actually want. Now, the way some of us use some of these generative AI may not be like this. So you have to give it directly what you want to get. Okay. I love purple, and let the logo be similar. Let it be similar to shops, because we are going to help businesses to scale, similar to something like a shop, something like a shop. And then, of course, I'll drop my name, which is retailboost.ai. Okay, let me see what it's going to give me. Okay, I hope ChatGPT doesn't fail me. Businesses to care using AI. I love the color purple, and let the logo be similar to something like a shop. Then retailboost.ai, which is the name of our business. So you can see we've been able to use generative AI to come up with a niche, to come up with our ideal customer profile, to now be able to brand, and then we're now looking to actually get a logo. So every single thing that we've mentioned here, which is choosing a niche, choosing an ideal customer profile, choose offer and service, agency branding, we've branded, and then we're now creating a logo, which is where we are currently at right now. Once you're done creating a logo, I hope ChatGPT doesn't fail me. Let me see what it's going to come up with. So if it's done creating the logo, we can now get a domain name. Now, at the point of getting domain name, that is where payments may now come in. But you can easily use things like GoDaddy. With GoDaddy, you can buy domain name online. So you can see we've been able to build out that first phase of a business. Now, once you see this logical conclusion, by the time you are done with every single step that exists there, you will have a business model that can go to market with. Right? You have a business model that you can go to. Oh, this looks fine. It's still coming out, but I think it looks so fine. Do we like the logo we are seeing? RetailBoost.ai. Do you like the logo we are seeing? Let me download my logo straight. I've downloaded my logo. Let me see. Remember, because I said I love the color purple and then make it look like a shop and then several things. It's now giving me something like this. Let me copy my logo straight. So I've copied my logo. I've gone back to my slide. Let me add it to this place. You guys can see now, we've built our logo and we've added it to this place. Now, if you are looking to go to market now, see, you have a logo, RetailBoost.ai, right? You have a business name, Retail Boost, and your niche is in retail and e-commerce. You are targeting ID customers of 25 to 35 years located in Nigeria. You are looking for visibility for plus AI for them. And the offer you're giving them is around Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok ads. And what you had before is 10 new paying customers over a period of 6 months. But then we rebranded and we're now we will deliver 10 new paying customers every month for your business, or you don't pay. Okay, we didn't even add pricing here. You can decide to add pricing, which is where I can now talk about, oh, we are looking to get at least, you don't have to be greedy. Let's say 30,000 per business. So something interesting happened today. I went to market to get something. And I'm frank with you, the price I got that was almost divided by 3, what I see online. So an idea came to me because these guys are local artisans. Do you know if I build a business and then connect these local artisans and sell their products online for them, that I'm going to make a lot of profits? Now, let's say I went to buy a mirror from people that cut mirror in the market. This guy cut this mirror for me around 30,000. If you come online and see a mirror is roughly around 90,000. Now, if I decide to sell 75, that's a lot of profits, and we are still going to be below the selling price of what people had in the market. Now, we are looking like businessmen right now. We've been able to build out this exact model just using AI without actually saying, okay, let's go and consult this one, let's go and consult that one. So everything that we have in this first segment, that is what we have been able to achieve. Remember, everything that we have in this first segment, we have been able to achieve it. We've chosen our niche, choosing our ideal customer profile, then offer and service, we branded, created a logo, and of course, we've got a business name. I was trying to create a personal logo for myself. I used the graphic guy. But tell you how much this guy charged me, you guys are not going to believe me. I didn't even know ChatGPT can actually be able to also help me run something like this easily. So I'm going to actually have a rethink about that. So we've been able to achieve all these things within just a space of time. Now, we may not be able to finish up every single one of them there, but if you're looking to buy a domain, which should be the last step on that place, all you have to now do is simply, let's go to GoDaddy. So we utilize GoDaddy to buy domain name. So you can go to GoDaddy and then look for that name you've chosen. Is it actually available to be sold? All right, is it actually available to be sold? So let's even see, what's our name again? Retail Boost. Retail Boost. Is Retail Boost available for sale? Let's see, RetailBoost.ai. So use GoDaddy. We are here at GoDaddy. Where is my page? Okay, this is GoDaddy. Okay, what are the domain that I want? RetailBoost.ai. Let's search. Let's quickly search. So if I search domain, please be available, please be available, please be available. Why is it wasting time? If I search domain, search. All right, let me see if it's available to be sold. RetailBoost.ai. What is wrong with this website? What is wrong? Just a moment, guys. It should be back up. Just a moment. GoDaddy. All right, RetailBoost.ai is available for Oh, that's roughly $60. But if I'm looking to do a different aspect, which is retailboost.net, retailboost.store, retailboost.me, I can easily buy it at $20. If I'm looking to do all these other ones, you can see that it's now going for a way cheaper option, which is around roughly $1. So with $1, I can easily buy my own domain name and instantly run with it. And I've have a business name, a business niche, a logo, a domain, simply using AI. Now, this is the same AI that we utilize every day to go and ask AI, my emotions are doing me like this. Does it mean that this guy has broken up with me? That's the same AI that someone else is using to also be able to build out a full-blown business, right? So everything that we have on this scale, on that same graph, is just simply easy. How do you go high level? That it might be a little bit technical, and we may not be able to cover every single one of them. But when you join sessions like this is how we help people understand every single one of them. And the truth is that all these things always seem impossible until it is done. I always mention to people, it always seems impossible until it is done, which is why I have a couple of success stories that I've shared before now, people that did the same thing, and they were actually able to run a full business. They were able to land a job. They're in their countries, and they landed a job wherever they are right now, okay? And there are two things that these people actually look out for. There are two things that recruiters look out for, and that's simply your skill and actually your experience. Now, by virtue of experience, I studied civil engineering, work experience, banking, fintech, edtech, hospitality, a couple of businesses here that I have. Now, to you, what skill and experience are you coming with? All right? What skill and experience are you coming with? But these are things that recruiters want to see. So that's why it's important to always work on projects, all right? Always work on projects, because when you work on these projects, you're also boosting your own portfolio. You are expanding the things that you know. Oh, while I was consulting with analytics, I worked on a retail dashboard project. I worked on hospital ERC visit projects. I worked on building a business process. And these are things that I can comfortably speak from, right? And that's how people like Mao Tin, he used to be a chemist, all right? He used to be a teacher, a chemistry teacher, but now he works as a data pathology analyst in UK with full visa sponsorship. So all these things are actually possible, but it's down to you. Are you ready to learn? Are you ready to package yourself? And then are you ready to apply? Now, for packaging, that's where portfolio comes in. When you fill the attendance form and get this slide, and now click on all these links that I have here to see the portfolio of the people before you, all right? To see the portfolio of every single one of them. And how you can actually be able to show evidence of tax done is by having portfolio, right? So if you have a car as of today and your car spoils, I'm sure you're not going to give it to someone that is telling you, oh, I'm a graduate of mechanical engineering from Oxford University. Bring your car, let me repair. No, you're going to go to that guy that's going to say, oh, I'm just a mechanic. This is my mechanic workshop. I've repaired Aston Martin, I've repaired Benz, I've repaired Toyota. Bring your car, let me repair for you. Now you're going to give it to that mechanic on the roadside because you're seeing evidence of what they've done. That is how you can also be able to land job. Can land job when recruiters can see evidence of things that you've done on your portfolio. And when you work on multiple projects like this, that is how you can easily be able to build a very catching portfolio that recruiters can never say no to. So what is my own offer to you today? All right, we'll build a business. We'll talk about the offer in that business. My own offer to you today is that we are starting a new cohort on September 13th. All right, that's next week, Saturday. So next week, Saturday, we are starting a new cohort that is basically going to teach you all these things that I've been talking about. You know, when I talk about prompt engineering, people think it's just using generative AI to just, ask it several questions that are not adding up. You need to structure it in a way that it can make sense. So by next week, we are starting 2 basic programs. All right. First is around generative AI for data analysts and professionals. Okay. If you look closely, you can see that you are going to be learning things around using generative AI for data cleaning, querying, and reporting. How do you generate SQL queries and Python code for natural language? How do you build AI-powered dashboards? Okay, and then of course, how do you apply AI for forecasting, trend analysis, and then anomaly detection? And also, how do you present your insights? And you're of course going to be working on projects. Then you're going to get a certificate when you are done, as well as our employability services, that's your CV reviews, your LinkedIn optimization, which is part of those packaging that I have spoken about. Now, this program is starting on September 13th to October 5th, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. every Saturday, and then 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. every Sunday. Okay, now for the generative AI and data analytics and professionals, it is going for 50,000. Now, the full amount is 200,000, but we are celebrating our 50th anniversary, which is why we currently have a 75% discount. So it is for 50,000. Why? If you're looking to become an AI automation engineer, how do you now build all these platforms yourself? How do you build platforms and deploy using Streamlit or Fast API or Gradio? Then you need to tilt towards this action. But if you want to learn how do you use generative AIs, they have to look at the other one. So if you want to become a generative AI automation engineer, where you learn prompt engineering as well, build real-world AI workflows and multi-agent systems, where you now build multi-agent system. How do you deploy and scale AI apps? And of course, also going to work on capstone projects and also your own CV review and optimization. Then this is for you. It is going for 100,000 as well. The full amount is also 200, but we currently discounted to 50% because of our own current anniversary. So we have two basic courses starting next week: generative AI for data analysts and professionals, and then how to become an AI automation engineer. Remember what I said earlier? The skills have shifted. Before now, everybody wanted someone that has creative thinking and analytical thinking. But right now, if you're looking to hire, you're looking at, do you have AI and data understanding? So if you want to upskill yourself to have all this, then the time for you to get into the class is now. Because by next week, this discount may not be existing anymore. So like I said, the full amount is 200,000 for both of them. But then we have discounted price for generative AI, which keeps at 50,000, and then for AI automation, which makes that 100,000. And it's not for everyone. It's just for the first 20 people to register in each of these courses. And after sessions like this, those spots are easily filled out. Okay, they are easily filled out. And how do you secure your spot? It's simple. Simply click on the links that my colleagues are going to be dropping. All right. Once you click on that link, it's going to bring you to our own page. All right. Now you can also see our account details on the screen: Analytics Data and Strategy Limited Business. All right, with the CUDA account. All right, you can simply make your transfers, then click here to register. Once you click on it, it's bringing you to our own website, where you're seeing the open programs, whether you're going for the AI automation engineer or if you're going for the other one, generative AI. Once you pay for any of them, simply click to register. You can also click to view the curriculum of everything that we are offering. But when you click to register, you can now easily be able to fill the form, put every details that you want us to have, which of them are you going for, and so on and so forth. And simply that is it. Once you're done, simply click on submit and you are fully registered. Now, one thing I would like to mention to people is that after sessions like this, these discounts may not be there anymore. So I would advise people to take advantage of it and get into the classroom as fast as possible. If you want to have that AI literacy in this AI age, then this is the time for you to take action. Okay. And what I also mentioned to people is that we are not just doing this for the sake of just it. We're looking to also make impact in the ecosystem. And that's why last year we got into our Beta Capitalizer program with one single aim: how do we help more Africans to actually break into this tech ecosystem? All right. And these are things that we on our own side continuously we are learning to be able to impact more and give back more to the society. Right? Are we permitted to pay instrumentally? Fantastic. Yes, you are. So you can decide to pay 50% upfront, then 3 weeks into the program, you complete your own payment as well. So it is fully allowed. I hope that makes sense to you. And by the time that you are done with the training, you're also going to get a certificate that is fully accredited by the American Council of Training and Development, ACTD, showing that, oh, Efanga, oh, Olisa, oh, Afolabi, they are now fully trained AI automation engineer or fully trained generative AI experts. Okay, these things are all available for you. These information are always available for everyone. What challenging part is, are you going to take action? Right? Are you going to take action? And it's not just about teaching you. We also have a platform, LMS, which we've also built in-house. to make people and businesses thrive. So if your organization or your own business needs some of the trainings that we also offer, can provide you with streamlined training that is specific to your own business. For instance, you are not understanding how your financials are flowing, you're not understanding how everything within your business is flowing. We can come in, look at your business, understudy it, and find the problem, then profile solutions for you. Okay, and our own training LMS is tailored to role specific training, so it's not generalized. You can see when we're offering generative AI, it's just generative AI for people that want to learn that. If it's for AI automation, it's just for AI automation. Same thing in your organization. If you want to have specific training relating, for instance, data analytics for customer service, data analytics for sales people, we can tailor it down to the specific training that your organization needs. And it's fully hands-on training, you working on projects, and also the HR can have access to the back end to be able to track the experience that people are also having. No disruption, because we are fully 100% available for you. It can be virtual, it can be hybrid, depending on the one that you want. Can you learn both? 100% you can, but the challenge is that both of them run at the same time. All right, both of them run at the same time. So what I would advise you to do is to, for instance, you can register and then also defer to learn it after, but the price may not be the same. So easily, our advice is just secure one and drive with it first. Or you can buy one for yourself and buy the other one for your partner. You will learn this, your partner will learn that. When two of you are done, two of you will teach each other. I think that's the easiest way to go about it. So two of you are also helping to build each other, as the case may be. So we can work in any sector of the economy. Is it in the financial sector, FMCG, oil and gas, telecom, logistics, HR? We are fully here for you. So if you joined earlier, we have heard when we're talking about some of these companies that have helped: Fair Money, Health Holding, Cowrie, TGI, Nigerian Breweries. I know all of us on this call, we know all these companies, and these are us offering trainings to their staff to help them to also upscale and have what they want to have. So can also give you a free demo if your organization wants us to show them part of things that we offer. We are fully here to provide our demos for them. And also, remember, there's a 50% discount that's currently on, which anyone can easily utilize to land those skills that they are looking for. So what are you still waiting for? Contact us today. You can reach out to us at analyticsbusiness.ca or treasure@analytics.org or business@analytics.org, and we are going to have a very, very interesting conversation. I don't know if at this point there are people that have questions for me. Please feel free to use the raise hand icon and I will call you up to speak, or you can drop it in the comment section and I will also pick it up from there. Okay, what's the duration of this training? What's the duration of the training? Okay, Matthew. So the duration is from, okay, let me go back to my slide. Remember, it's starting next week and it's ending in October. So 13th September to October 5th, Saturdays and Sundays. Saturday class is by 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., while the Sunday class is by 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. And all these sessions are always recorded. And the reason why it's recorded is because as busy adults, there are tendencies for us to actually have one thing or the other that will make us to miss a class. So even if you miss a class, you can rewatch the recording and then come back to your closed group and ask your facilitator questions. Oh, I was trying to adopt this same model that you did in the class and I was having this issue. And the facilitator will be there to also help you solve your own problem. I hope that makes sense to everyone. Which one can I add to data engineering? Matthew, simply put, AI automation engineering. All right, AI automation engineering. If you're already in data engineering, best place for you to go to is AI automation engineering. If you don't have any background theory in data analytics, can you still enroll? Fantastic question, Odali. Yes, you can. So I advise you to go for the Gen AI for data analysts and professionals. Now, before you start moving into the generative AIs to build all these things, Power BI, Tableau, you're also going to be walked through how to utilize Power BI. All right, you're going to understand those basics first before you dive right into it. I hope that answers your question. All right, and next question is really, which one can I do with data science? Francis Gian. Francis Gian, if you are already a data scientist, I also advise you to tilt towards AI automation engineer. Right, because for AI, for data science, I believe you learned machine learning in your data science training. So the place for it to be able to augment what you already have should also be you tilting towards AI automation engineer. And this training, remember, is from basic to advanced. So if you have little literacy around data, I would advise you to go towards automation. But if you are looking to start from the scratch, you're a customer service person, you're a sales associate, you are a realtor, you are different roles, I advise you to look towards that generative AI for data analysis and professionals, and then build yourself up from there. Okay, I don't know if there's another question from anyone. Okay, fantastic, Francis, fantastic. I advise you to go towards the AI automation. Fantastic. I don't know if there's another question from another one. Remember, the discount is not for everyone. I always advise people to secure their spots after sessions like this because it's easily filled up, right? It's easily filled up. But once that 20 people are filled in each of the classes, the price is going to revert to the full amount, which means if you're going for AI, generative AI, and I'm going to be paying that full 200. If you're going for AI automation, you're also going to be paying the full 200,000. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone. I can't see another question, which means I've been able to do justice to every single question that we all have here. Now, there's something I always close out my sessions with. The best time to get into tech is yesterday. All right, the next best time is today. Yeah, for me, it is fully online. It is fully online. Okay, it is fully online. When some of us transition, I can tell you for a fact that transition with is not even, it's not substantial. But if you're looking to transition today, it takes a whole lot of things for you to actually be able to transition. All right. Remember, I said earlier, we've been doing this for the last 5 years. We've helped close to 60,000 people to transition. And then you also can be the 60,001 person. But your own actions start from you taking the actions today. These are companies that most of our people that have trained work with. They work in PwC, some work in Glo, some work in P&G, Procter & Gamble, and several other places. All right. But your next step starts with you, first of all, learning the skill, packaging yourself, and then applying. So everything I have on my side, they are all success stories of people that have been able to also make this same transition. All right. So when you get the slide, you can go through it and be able to also relate to every single thing that we have here. Now, you yourself can be the next person that we will have on this exact slide come our next session. So thank you so much to every one of you that listened to me for the last close to 2 hours. I really appreciate you being here and listening to me, speaking to you, me and nobody. It takes a lot for you to be here. So, okay, so I can't wait to see you guys come next weekend in the classes where you can also be able to get all those learning and insights that you want. All right. On behalf of my founder, Adeza Suleiman, co-founder of Femina Pro, and to everyone that made this session a success, Treasure, Uchechiku, and every other person that I get organized, I say a very big thank you to each and every one of you. I remain your guy, Chukwemeka Ekpa. So I'll see you guys come next weekend. Cheers, everyone, and bye for now.